Hello Capricorn, thank you for joining me, thank you for coming to my channel, thank you for watching, liking, sharing and subscribing. So in the first house we have Pluto transformation. So the first house is everything to do with the self, your appearance, your vitality, your physical body. It's also what other people see, so what you project. So that's your personality, your characteristics, and just who it is that you're presenting when you're out and about in the world, mixing with other people, and also with people that you are close to. So it's also your self-oriented interests and your physical regimes that you may be going through. So that's like sports or perhaps gym routines or just various types of activities which are all self-orientated. Okay, so Pluto in transformation, it is what it is. It's a time of transformation for you. So there may be endings of something and the beginning of another thing, or just something that's perhaps an old routine or an old, just something that needs to just be transformed, to be changed or rearranged to produce a new result. So as I said, endings and beginnings, it's also the renewal from something old that has died off. So whether this is perhaps a certain look that you used to have, or just the way you've been projecting yourself in the past, perhaps you've updated your image, or you are just changing something about your physical appearance or your physical regime. Perhaps it's an old gym routine that you now need to change up, or some kind of activity that you want to do. So it's renewal from something that has died off or just has kind of fallen away from you. It's also about regeneration. So this is harnessing your energies and applying yourself in a new direction with this, whether this is the way you are projecting yourself to others or whether it's to do with your own self-oriented interests. There may have also been a period of austerity or streamlining that's been going on, or you're going to be going through a period of that where you just strip away whatever's not working for you so that you can rebuild. There's also there also may be some things coming to the surface for examination and release or transformation. So this could be a health issue, or it could just be a niggling injury of some sort that keeps coming back. So if that's the case, you need to examine the emotional situation or what was going on in your life at the time that you sustained the injury, because that will need healing. Whatever was going on for you at that time, address that, find the healing for that, and then the injury will subside or it will simply go away. There could also be, this is a fairly intense card, this, so this is going to be quite a transformation. It's going to be quite intense, whatever is going on. As I said, it could have some sort of health situation, but it could be something comes to the surface, something that needs attention. So whether this is internal or external on your body, just something that needs to be addressed. As I said, it could be an old attitude or an old belief, something that has just not served you or it's just not working anymore. You perhaps just need to change it, have a sort of some form of self-analysis and work out what you want to do to move forward. This actually is important because this affects your close personal relationships, your one-on-one relationships as well. What you're doing, what you're transforming is ultimately going to affect that. So now in the second house, we have Jupiter abundance. Second house is everything to do with your money, your income. It's also to do with what you own, any kind of possession that you have. It's also the house of self-worth and the house of values, your values. So with Jupiter abundance coming in there, it's a very positive aspect to be having. So I feel that whatever you're going to put into place with regards to how you're conducting yourself, it may bring about this, or this may come in and then you can reassess what else you're doing. So it's exactly what it says. It's a form of abundance. Jupiter is a fairly quick, fast-moving energy. So whatever comes in for you, whatever opportunity comes in for you in any one of those areas, whether it's to address an old self-worth issue, or perhaps you are now getting a boost of income, or you get a sort of a windfall, whatever comes in for you, and it opens. It could also be doors opening for you, some kind of opportunity coming up. Then follow it. explore all the possibilities, grasp it, and take the opportunity when it comes, because like I said, it's not going to be there all the time. It will come, and then you need to take advantage, and then it will move on. So this is expansion. It's good luck. It's good fortune. It could also be faith. And it could also be freedom from something. So you may have just have been through a difficult patch, and now you need to, you're finding your faith again and your values and in your own self-worth. It could be freedom from old ideas, or freedom as in financial freedom. It could also be freedom from possessions which have weighed you down. So you've got shot of them, and now it frees you up to do other things. Generosity comes in with this as well, whether you are being generous with others or others are being generous towards you. It's also rewards coming to you as well, rewards of some kind. So I feel this could be something to do with your work, because your work house is indicated as well. Very positive card there. So possibly something that you're doing, a work project or some kind of career aspect possibly, but it's to do with the work that you're doing. You're getting a reward for that. Somebody's going to notice. It could also be just a divine assistance. So it's in your house of money, your income, but it could just be also with a possession. It's some kind of divine help coming in. That could be an aspect for you. It's the green light. As I said, follow opportunities. And make use of this period of abundance, because it's not a very long lasting, it takes time to unfold. It's quick, it comes in, you need to grasp it. You actually got to harness the opportunities that come in. Then in the third house we have Moon Soul. So this is your third house is your house of communication. So this is how you're being received by others with what you say, what you write, and your body language. It's all forms of communication. It's also the house of documents and contracts. So with the Moon Soul coming in there, I feel you need to be receptive at this time. Being receptive means you take on board whatever comes to you, whatever's said to you, you're going to be highly sensitive. So you need to look at it from all different angles, not just jump to the first conclusion or say the first thing that comes to your head, or take a hard angle. You actually need to be receptive, which is primarily a feminine quality. We all have masculine and feminine qualities, so you just need to have take that on board and understand what receptivity really means. It's also about having compassion and nurturing. So use your words in this way amongst others, because the third house is also your dealings with siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins. So take that into account. You may be in a situation where you are required to bring the compassion and the nurturing into what you say in these situations. It's also instinct. It's harnessing your instinct and your sensitivity. The moon also brings in crowds and the wider public. So you may be in a situation where you're communicating with a larger group of people, or the public in general. Just be aware, harness your the feeling and emotional side of this card. Don't blurt out things unnecessarily. Take it on board, but go with your instinct in all cases. This also brings in a feminine or female influence. So you could have a woman that is it could be a family member, or one of those ones that I mentioned, or it could be somebody that you're dealing with at this time. So that the feminine, or it could just be you having to access the deeper feminine, as I said, and be receptive at this time. It's also about harnessing your imagination. Because if you're creative and you're using your words for whatever it is that you're doing, then this is a very nice aspect to be having, because you'll be able to harness that sensitivity and imaginative ability. At all times, always ask yourself, how do I feel? So how do I feel? And then sort of formulate from there. Some things may not be clear at this time with regards to communication or documents or contracts. So just be aware of that, because some things can be obscured, or just not necessarily deception, although that does come in. Just some things may not be clear, and you may need to, be sort of clarify exactly what's going on. And also with this card, memories. and the past. Something from the past may come back as well. The third house also covers short trips. This is local trips around and about you, wherever you are. And because it's the moon, and the moon is essentially a water sign, then you can, it rules Cancer, which is a water sign. Then any trips to any body of water, local trips to any body of water, is going to be beneficial for you. Obviously, the sea would be great, but if you're not near the sea, then any like a lake or a river or something will be beneficial for you. Then in the fourth house, we have Taurus. The fourth house is your house of home. It's your physical home, and it's also your lifestyle, and it could even be the people in your home, and it's also the house of your foundation, your roots, your ancestry, your family tree, if you want to call it that, your foundation that you've come from, your ethnic identity, and so on. All of those issues. The fourth house covers all of that. So with Taurus, coming in, it's a very stabilizing card to have. So this could be affecting your physical home, your actual bricks and mortar, or whatever it is that you live in. You could be wanting to do something with that, or it could just be the ambience or the interiors of your home. But whatever it is, Taurians love luxury. They enjoy luxury things, whether it's fabrics or whatever. They enjoy that. They're very sensual people. They like things to look good, feel good. Food and colors and fabrics are important to them. So they need to, at all times, they need comfort and they need nurturing in their home. So perhaps bring that into your home environment. If it's not already there, bring it in, because it's going to be important for you. It's going to give you a sense of comfort and nurturing. Take time to enjoy your home as well. You could also it could be a garden. It may not necessarily be your garden, your home as such. It could be the garden. This is an earthy sign, so there may be things going on with your garden. Perhaps you need to have it landscaped, or you want to do some things in the garden. Very good time to be doing that. This card is also about growth. Whatever it is you want to do inside or outside of your home, it must be practical, because Taurians are practical. So it's a practical application of what you want to do. So whether you want to bring luxury in or you want to have your garden redone, make sure it's practical and methodical, and that it's following a steady pace. There's no quick fix or rushing with this card. It's take your time and enjoy. Finances are highlighted with this. So if you are getting an abundance of some sort of windfall or whatever, and you maybe want to put it into your home, it could even be real estate. You may be purchasing other real estate, or purchasing your first home or something like that. But it's a very stabilizing card. But whatever it is, be practical. You could also be having in your home, or being exposed to people who are artistic by nature. So artistic people, whether they are interior decorators, or they are artists themselves, or filmmakers, or just artistic people that are following artistic professions, whatever that may be. It could even be sort of, people who are physical with dance and music and ballet and so on. So whether these are people visiting you, or they're coming into your home for some reason, or you're having a redecoration of some sort and that you're being exposed to them, that's also implied here. The other side of this card is being stubborn or inflexible or too materialistic. That can come in. That is the other side of Taurus. So if you've got things in your home which are broken or not working anymore, you just feel they don't fit into what you want now going forward, then release them, recycle, upcycle, pass them on, whatever needs to be done. Don't hang on to things for the sake of them. Bring a fresh and nurturing aspect into your home, but they must be practical, have a useful purpose. Then in your fifth house, you have Saturn Truth. So this card, this house rules, the fifth house rules your children, or children that you are associated with. And it also rules creativity. So this is your creativity, or it could be creativity exhibited by your children. Or it could be involved with creative projects that you're working on, if that's your line of work. So it's all about creativity. It's also about it's also the house of love affairs, and it's also the house of all forms of recreational activity. So having fun, and handcrafts or whatever kind of activity it is, going out, whatever activity is fun for you, and it's also can also cover sports, so sports activities. So now, with Saturn Truth coming in there, it is quite a strong aspect coming in. It's a be realistic card. So, however this applies for you, you need to face any truths that need to be faced, and whatever it is that's going on in any one of those areas, you're going to have to be fairly methodical and systematic about it. So, this is about gaining wisdom. And also through being responsible. So it could be your children that are going through a phase where they are needing to experience this, or having to really apply themselves in some way, shape or form, or you may have to, with your children, perhaps put structures in place for them so that they feel secure, give them the support, help them put down really solid foundations for whatever it is they want to do in the future. But it's some kind of restructuring, some kind of foundation is going in. As I said, it could also be in creativity, which is not necessarily artistic. This can be any form of creativity. It can be the way you dress, the way you speak, the way you write, the way you conduct yourself amongst others, the way you hold your children's birthday parties. You can be very creative in any one of those aspects, in any way. So it's all about that, but it is a kind of, this is a fairly, as I said, a fairly strong, austere card, and it can feel a little bit like you're restricted in some way. Possibly you're making changes in your home, and it's coming over into your environment with your children. Perhaps things are a bit chaotic at home, and you need to bring structure and balance in there. It could also be, as I said, with a love affair, possibly somebody that has Saturnian qualities. Well, you are Capricorn, so you're ruled by Saturn in any case, but so it could be somebody exhibiting similar qualities to you, or having Saturnian qualities is coming in. But in any case, the relationship will require structure of some sort. There's going to be no rushing. It's slow unfolding. There's structure there, and there's also a bit of truth. As I said, truth is going to come in some way, shape or form. It's putting down a solid foundation, because if the love affair goes to a more permanent relationship, your foundation must be strong. If it's not strong, it won't make it to the next phase. If it's to do with a recreational activity, Saturn is not necessarily about having lots of fun. It's more about applying yourself, applying your wisdom, and actually working at something diligently. So this could be a sports activity, or it could be your children going through this, where a lot of patience and a lot of hard work and a lot of diligence is required, because you want solid achievement. Saturn is always working towards that solid achievement. It cannot be, you can't bring that to you without laying the groundwork first. Okay, so there also you may just have to build up towards success. As I said, it's also about understanding the difference between wants and needs. Saturn is about your needs, not about your wants. Okay, so you need to assess that, or your children do, or you need to help them assess that. There could also be power issues or control issues coming in, whether that's in the relationship or in your sports or in your love relationship or with your children. But there could be a few power struggles and some control issues coming in. Be careful that you are not being overly that way inclined, because that's going to force rebellion then. Put in structure and foundations without being overly controlling. There are lessons to be learned with this. As I said, it could be patience. It could be about being diligent. So it really is it's a get real card, this. Then in the 6th house, we have a lovely card. We've got Grand Trine Blessings. 6th house is everything to do with your work routines, your workplace, your work colleagues. And it's mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do, your speciality, or something that you really are trying to focus on. So it's mastery of that. It's also the house of health and diet, and the house of pets. So however that applies for you, but it's bringing blessings in. And so with this coming in, it's bringing in harmony and good flow. So you'll be feeling good, and there'll be you'll be feeling appreciative of what you have achieved. There's a sense of completion and a sense of wholeness. So it could be that you're completing a project, or you're completing something and you're moving on, or you just feel satisfied with what has happened, or satisfied with your work environment. But there's good flow there. There's harmony. Luck comes in with this card as well. Difficulties will be lifted, and a path will be cleared for you. You will also be well received by others. So if there's a financial aspect to this, and you need to bring in more finance to support your work that you're doing, then you should be able to harness that. You'll be well received. This could also bring in popularity. And it could also just be that your faith is restored in whatever it is that you're doing. You're just going to feel good about what you're doing. You're going to get almost like a validation for what it is that you've been doing. The only other thing with this, I would say, is that because things are flowing and you've got this lovely energy coming in, which I feel is going to bring you the abundance, the monetary abundance into your second house, as we already discussed. If that's coming in for you, make sure you channel it correctly and that you harness every opportunity that comes, because with this card you can also be a little bit complacent, or almost like you're coasting, that you're not really applying yourself, almost like, oh, I've done the hard work, now I can relax and enjoy. No, not with this. You do still need to work at whatever it is you're doing. You do still need to apply yourself to harness the abilities, otherwise opportunities will simply flow away. So be active, be looking at it, working at it, but it will, whatever it is, you will feel, the opportunity to feel satisfied with what you're doing, or to bring in satisfaction from the actions you take with this, will be good. With regard to your health and diet, nothing really is indicated with this. I feel it was indicated in your first house. If anything's coming up, please deal with it. If there is a health issue, or if there's some niggling issue that's been there a while and you just haven't dealt with it, this card can sort of make you almost avoid it. So it's avoidance and escapism. Don't do that. If something's coming up and it needs to be dealt with, this is a very good time to deal with it, because you will be well received and you will have good flow and harmony. So the chances of success, or the chances of addressing that issue, are very good. Then in the 7th house, we have South Node, Life's Debts. So this is a karmic card coming in for you. The 7th house has everything to do with your personal one-on-one relationships. So this can be a love relationship, or it could be, as I said, a close personal relationship, or it could be a business partnership that you're involved in. It covers all of that. And the lower courts are also indicated here. So the South Node, Life's Debts, as I said, this is a karmic card coming in. So you're going to be dealing with karmic issues, whether you believe in the past life stories, or you feel that's coming in for you. You will have to address whatever comes up, or it could be issues from the past within either your current relationships or past relationships that are now coming back to be addressed again. So it works like that. Either way, karma is at work. This is about releasing old attitudes and beliefs and situations that are not working for you. You have to release them in order to move forward. Because this is about dropping your baggage and about moving forward, getting onto really the much more important issues in your life, which may have been put on hold, or have been put off, or put on the back burner. It's now time the universe is saying to you, you cannot do this anymore. You have now got to release all of that old baggage and get on with what it is you came here to do, and get on with your experiences, experience life. But it's about dropping that baggage. You're going to have a challenge of some sort, which will be followed by growth. You must deal with anything that is unfinished or unresolved. Otherwise, the universe will step in and do it for you, and that will probably be more painful. So rather take action, take the initiative, and address anything unfinished or unresolved. What it's asking you to do is to reach for your highest potential or vision. So whether this is you in your relationship or you and your relationship, you need to reach much higher than you have been currently. This is about going that extra mile. This is about really reaching for the highest possible vision and really going for that potential, what you vision. And in order to do that, you have to let go of a lot of things. You have to let go of the baggage. You have to let go of the past, so that you are free to move forward. It's about getting out of your comfort zone and reaching for your highest potential. Deal with anything that you feel is weighing you down now, and it needs to go. Then in the 8th house, we have Uranus, which is genius. So the 8th house is everything to do with your big finances. So this is investments, insurance, tax, inheritances, investments of all kinds, and legacies. It's also the deeper sexual connection between love partners, and it's also the material and emotional resources between partners. So whether that's a love partner or a business partner. It's also the house of other people's money. So if you're dealing with other people's money in any form, that comes in here. It's also the house of basically death and rebirth. So this is usually a death of something which needs to go, and the rebirth of something which needs to come in. Yet again, this is about releasing old things. So it seems to be a bit of a theme here. It's also the house. Maybe it's a powerful house. There could be power struggles in this house as well. With Uranus coming in, this could be you bringing in your personal brilliance or great ideas into your situation, because Uranus can do that for you. Uranus can give you the most incredible ideas, or like a stroke of genius, literally, or a stroke of intuition, which changes everything. It's like a light bulb. It really is a bolt of lightning coming down, and all of a sudden things are changing, and you know exactly what you've got to do or how to apply it. It's about using your intuition. With this card, it's not going to be a gentle, slow moving thing. This is an upheaval. This is unexpected. It's sudden. It can be really a massive change, or it can be a quick, sharp change. And now you've got to really, sort of get yourself going. During all of this, it's best to stay detached. It's best not to go the emotional route with this in this particular area, especially when it comes to finances and the merging of finances. It's best to keep a cool head and be detached. But there could also be some like turbulence going on within your relationships or within those areas I've mentioned. So like upheavals, and things are changing, and you're just not quite sure what's going on. It's unexpected. Things may feel erratic at the moment. You could also be coming into contact with people who have different lifestyles and viewpoints from yours. They really are different from you. And you kind of have to make that work. You have to look at that, whether you're in the financial field and you're now coming across people that have, are very different from you, or you just have to apply yourself differently as well. This card, there may be authority issues coming in, whether you're dealing with an authority figure or you're dealing with some group that has authority, whether it's banking or accounting, or it could be, as I said, tax. So that's your revenue people. This could come in as well. There could be an unexpected upheaval or some kind of change of some sort. The Uranus also brings in advanced tech of all kinds, so technology. So whether you're going from using one particular system and now you're going to a much bigger, more complex system, that could come in for you. It is really a step up from what you have been using currently. So either that could be in a work frame, or it could be just being exposed to people who are cutting edge when it comes to technology as well. Then in the 9th house, we have Scorpio I transform. Fair bit of Scorpio energy, Pluto energy going on in your chart. So with the 9th house, this is the house of the world, international things, whether that's international travel, international people, international concepts, cultures, So anything foreign, it could be import, export, it could be going online, and now you're talking to people across the other side of the world. It's that sort of energy. It's also the house of teaching. It's the house of religion. It's the house of philosophy. And it's the house of higher education. So this is university education or adult education. It's also the house of public relations and promotional work. It's the house of law. And it's the house of your in-laws as well. So with Scorpio coming in, I transform. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. We had Pluto earlier on. So very powerful aspect to be having in this house. So you may just find that a secret or something is coming to light. Something is coming up from that hasn't been noticed or has been buried or just put away quietly. Now it's coming out. Needs to be examined and sorted out. It could also be success after a hard slog of some sort. So this could be, as I said, to do with university education, something that you've been toiling away and now you're finally getting to the end of it, or you could be embarking on that journey now still. But there is success indicated, but there will be a bit of a hard slog there. You may also have to stand up for what you believe in. Be very careful with your finances and your reputation and the work that you are doing. Ensure that somebody else doesn't take credit for what you are doing. So, just be careful with that. It also indicates be careful with your property. So property, finances, your reputation, and the work that you are doing. You're going to have to be resourceful with this card. You're going to be going through a fairly demanding time. So if you're a student and you're now getting to the final stretch of your university career, well, you're going to have to apply yourself with this. You're going to have to be resourceful. It could be quite, as I said, demanding. There is also a fair bit of self-analysis that comes with this card. So however that applies for you in this area. And also with this card, there is regeneration because something has been transformed. So it's either an old thing which is now being transformed into something which is much better for you, or something falls away and something new comes in. But you've got to transform your situation in some form. It could also be that you may have to take a trip of some sort because this is international, right? It has that flavor to it. If that's coming in for you, you may have to take a trip, or you may be dealing internationally over property or finance, or it could be an inheritance. Perhaps a death has happened in your family. Now you're having to deal with all the fallout from that, or you just got things to get through. It's the law, so it could be you've got to be dealing with the executor on the wills, or something like that could be coming in for you as well. So a trip may be required to go and deal with, sort those issues out. Then in the 10th house is your house of career. It's also the house of your reputation, your fame, and your public status. It's also the house of authority figures as well. So with this coming in Cancer, I feel, again, this is another watery card, another feeling card. So again, with those areas of your life, it's going to be about how do you feel. You're going to be feeling very sensitive, and you're going to have to use your intuition to guide you now. What is your gut feeling? You may be feeling a little bit vulnerable or emotional. If you are artistic or you're creative and you need to harness imaginative abilities or your sensitivity in order to bring it into your work, like for writing or something like that, your imagination will be heightened, so it's very good for that. Heightened senses. Even your psychic abilities may be really on point with this card. And it may be a part of your career as well. The arts are indicated with this, and this is music, dance, film, really galleries, actual artistic work, anything like that is indicated with this card. You could be going into that as a new career, or you could be mixing with others who have that as their career, or they're influencing you in some way. But it has got that lovely imaginative and creative side to it. It could also be working with antiques or handcrafts. Culinary skills are also indicated with this as well. So any one of those areas may be coming in for you. There's also nostalgia. So this is perhaps older things, things that have a nostalgic element to them, whether it's jewelry or whatever. So that may all come in for you as a career aspect, or something coming in on any one of those areas. It's also, there's a female figure possibly indicated with this, whether this is a mother or just another female figure that you're perhaps working with or you're associating with. It's also, it could, as I said, the authority figures can come in, so it could be a female authority figure. It could also be how women get along in your work and your career environment, or it could be how you are moving through your career, or whatever it is that you're doing with your life. It could be coming in there. You also need to, you possibly need to take time away, because Cancerians like to withdraw, to retreat periodically, and they need to do that. So you need to possibly just withdraw periodically to just get back to yourself, to feel it more at home in yourself, understand your feelings, process a little bit, work out what you want to do, and then go back out again. But you do need a bit of time to retreat. It could also be that you're very emotionally in sync with other people at this time as well, which can be very helpful with your career. But just be aware with Cancer that there are cycles that's ruled by the moon, so you may have ups and downs which you are just cycling through currently. Then in the 11th house we have Gemini, I think. So Gemini is an air sign. It's everything to do with communication, how you think as well. So communication is going to be very, very important. How you talk, what you write, and so on. So the 11th house is everything to do with your networks, your friendships, any groups that you're a member of, your associates, your societies, your clubs, any kind of group activity that you're involved in. It's also the house of personal hobbies and interests, and also your ideals, your hopes and your wishes. With this coming in, as I said, communication is going to be very important. But with the communication, you also need to be mindful and you need to listen. So less of the talk, more of the listen, I feel. Because you're going to be gathering quite a bit of information from these group activities, or as you move through these groups or through your friends and so on. I feel this is about gathering information. So by all means, be social, be fun, get out and chat to others, bring in your humor and so on, and gather information. Perhaps it's for something that you need to gather information on for your career or some other aspect. But it's about gathering information from others, enjoying being amongst others, and harnessing all those communicative abilities that you may have. It's also about paying attention. Pay attention to what is going, what you're hearing, what you're seeing, and what you're experiencing. One of the other things that you perhaps need to do with this is avoid gossip. You may hear gossip to do with a friendship, or somewhere through the network you may hear gossip. Don't perpetuate it, don't entertain it, because this can backfire on you badly. Avoid distractions as well. You always have a purpose, and gather information and so on, and use that to help yourself gather what you need to know. This card also brings in quick thinking. It's mental abilities, processing. You may have to talk your way into or out of something, so just be aware of that. And your words, you use wise words with whatever it is. If you're going to be chatty and talking to others, don't be frivolous. It's about applying your wisdom in what you say. Technology may also come in with this, so possibly your social networking as well. You're making comments to others on a social network system. That can all come in here. It's also the house of social trends as well, and social global consciousness. Then in the 12th house we have Pisces, I believe, another watery sign. So the 12th house is the house of the unconscious. It's your deeper unconscious beliefs and your drives, your motivations, whether you know them or not. And it's also the house of a bit of retreat and withdrawal, taking time out just to assess what needs to be done and where you want to go, and just taking time to be with yourself, really. It's the house of spirituality, your spiritual life, meditation, mysticism, healing, all of those aspects. And it's also the house of escapism and addictions of all kinds. So with Pisces, I believe coming in there, I feel this is to do with perhaps you just need to have a bit of faith and trust in whatever it is. It could be a broader belief, but make sure it's your own belief. So faith and trust, self-belief. There's deep reflection involved in this, deep reflection of your inner self, understanding your place in the greater scheme of things. So you're understanding your place in the universe, who you are, where you are, and coming to self-belief with that. It's also about compassion, having compassion for others. So if you're in the healing arts, or if you are in the sort of helping profession, it's about harnessing those compassionate abilities. The arts is indicated yet again. It's come up several times now in your chart. So you may be mixing with other people who are involved in the arts in some way, whether it's music or film or whatever. Or you may need to just having that as some kind of interest, or enjoying aspects of that, which you're going to get a lot out of that. Perhaps it's going to music concerts or something, but it's going to help you feel deeply, and you may just be getting something out of that. Or it could be a profession, or it could be you mixing with other people in that industry. Just don't get caught up in other people's dramas, because that can be a Pisces thing. Don't get sucked into other people's complications, because they will drain you. So have boundaries. Make sure that your boundaries are in place. There's, as I said, you avoid the wrong crowd as well. Just be careful who you surround yourself with. If it's to do with addictions or anything like that, there may be a bit of confusion or a bit of escapism going on. You could also be visiting institutions of all kinds with another, or going yourself to experience something. So it's your experience that you have there, whether that's a hospital or a government institution or a library or a university. Or any kind of institution, and that's your experiences there. So be careful. As I said, look back on your chart. It's your experiences there. So be careful who you mix with, who you interact with on those levels, and what you learn and what you understand there. You may get deeper knowledge about certain things. You may understand certain things, or you may see something which causes deeper reflection in you. It's also about avoiding victim consciousness as well. This card can come in. So in all things, you need to be inspired. You need to inspire yourself. That is the highest quality of this card. Also, you may find that it's important to be near water in some way. It was indicated in your short trips, so trips to water can be very calming for you at this time. All right, Capricorn, I hope you have a great month, and take care, and I will see you again next time.